Record. Hello. Okie dokie. Let's do this. How do I? Nope, that's not what I wanted. Present. Here we go. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you guys about something super important, and this is in the way. There we go. Okay, now I actually cannot see you talking whatsoever. Sorry. Let me figure my stuff out. Figure my life out here. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. So I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I feel like is going to not only just help new coaches. So if you are a new coach and conversations are something that you're starting to learn, you haven't really figured it out yet, you're still finding your groove, this is going to be perfect. It's going to help release some of that stress and the tension that comes around sending out messages. And it also is going to help a new coach, a veteran coach. So if you've been coaching for, if you're Jess or me and anybody since then this can help you too, because I got these specific things from a training yesterday in the Operation Denomination group. Operation Denomination, I think that's what it's called. Anyways, Bonnie talked about it, and I'm going to give you the summarized version of her video, and it's so good. So this is going to really help. It's honestly like a magic equation that you're going to use. And I say magic because we all are like, how do you do it? What's the magic secret? What's the big thing? So this is what's going to help break that down. And every time you go into a conversation and you start to talk to them and start to respond to them, you can use this. So what is it? The magic equation. And she called it her Convo Cocktail. Okay. Ooh, this lighting makes my face. You guys, this new computer, I'm telling you right now, the video on my old computer was so effed. This computer is like crazy good. Okay. So the magic cocktail, this combination together in every single conversation, in all of the responses that you send. Don't force it. It doesn't have to be awkward, but let this kind of help you in your flow. It's a little bit of rapport, a little bit of business, and ending with a question. Okay, so every response, follow this question or follow this equation, and you'll combine the rapport building that, if you're anything like me, you hate, because I don't like having small talk. I don't like small talk. I don't do well with it. I'm super awkward with it. If you know me, like, I ask random people the most random deep questions. I need to open whoa. I don't know where the chat is. Don't have a clue. I don't know how this works. Say something in the chat again. Oh, there it is. Chat. Maybe I have to be expanded. I don't know. Okay. So if you know me at all, I ask people the most random, like, deep questions. That's just how I talk. I don't like asking about the weather and knowing what their job is. And Kyle got like really offended pretty much. Because I was saying to him yesterday, I was like, yes. I was like, I don't care where people work. I don't care what they do. I don't care really about the surface level. And he's like, well, it's not really nice. And I'm like, it's not about what they do for work. It's how they feel with their work. How do they feel about their job? Do they love it? Do they hate it? Is it good, passionate work? Do they want to do something different? Do they have big dreams? Like, that's the type of conversations that I like to have. And so this rapport building, which it just means building like that trusting relationship with people, that rapport building was always so tough. It was kind of like an obstacle and a barrier. So when I started coaching way back, 2.5 years ago, I learned that you had to do this thing called forming. And so you had to talk to people about family, occupation, recreation, and materialistic things. And those are how you needed to start your, didn't need to, but that's how you were trained on starting conversations. So you would send somebody like a hey girl message that said, hey girl, oh my God, I love your dog. Or hey girl, oh my God, I love your swimsuit. Or hey girl, oh my God, I love your shirt. And for me, I struggled. I was like, this is fucking stupid. Excuse me, French. I'm sorry. This is stupid. I did not do it. So for 2.5 years, I have not been somebody who builds rapport. And so I actually started mixing this in and doing this in the last couple of months really, really well. And just in the sense where I feel comfortable sending out a message and then conversating with them. So one reason why inviting got to be like this big block that I would have a really hard time overcoming was I didn't like having the conversations. I didn't like talking to people about this useless shit, and I just wanted to sign them up and help them and, change their life. And so I got really caught up in having to have these useless conversations and needing to invite to the business be it coaching or a challenge group. So I started just like talking to them, and I just imagined that I was at one of two places. I was either at Starbucks having a coffee date with them, what would I say? Or I was out having a glass of wine with them. So sometimes I talk more like funny and, well, I'm not really that funny, but like just me as if I was having a glass of wine. And then other times, like when I'm talking in the mornings, it's more like, a little bit more professional, more haha kind of thing. And it would be like I was sitting down having a Starbucks date with them. And so I started to do this. And when Bonnie said this, it literally was like a light bulb went off. I was like, yes, this can be game changing. The Convo Cocktail is going to be a little bit of rapport, which is going to be 1 to 2 lines in your response. A little bit of business. So whether you're talking to them, explaining or asking a question about Beachbody of some kind, be it coaching, a challenge group, whatever. And then always ending the response, every single response that you send, end it with a question. That part, paired with the rapport building, is going to be game changing. And then the fact that you add in that little bit of business is going to help you not feel so gross when you're inviting, okay? So I'll give you some examples throughout this, but that is what I want you to write down and take this away, and I want you to go and see, do I do this? When I'm sending messages, when I'm answering, do I build rapport and show that I care about this person as at the same time as talking about the business? Not one or the other. It doesn't have to be one or the other anymore. It can be together, combined, as long as it ends with a question. I'm sorry. Okay. So, Okay. So these are some of my new, my invites, and these are new people that I have not invited. And if I have invited them before, but they have not responded, I will send them pretty much the same thing, or I'll send like a different version. So if they've liked a post in the past, but they're watching my story, I'll send them the story invite, okay? So for example, people who like your post, something so simple as, hey, whatever, thank you so much for the love of my post. I appreciate it so much. I hope you don't mind me asking, but have you ever considered doing what I do? And then you can obviously alter this to include, like to make it a challenge group and just say something like, have you ever thought about joining my fit club or my online challenge or my boot camp, whatever you call it? I would love to have you. I think you'd be amazing at this. That right there is so simple, so easy, so vague. They have no idea what you're talking about. You didn't say that you're a Beachbody coach. You didn't say that you're a health and fitness coach. You didn't say that you're looking for a team and for somebody to make all this money from their phone. You're literally just asking them, have you ever thought about what I do? Okay? I pretty much say the same thing in all of my different invites. They're just a little bit tweaked based on where I'm getting them from. The 3 places that I invite new people from, I'm sorry, I should be looking up here. I'm going to do that. Hang on. Okay, the 3 places that I get my invites from are people who liked a post that I've done, people who have watched a story, and I don't just do any story, I do an important story. So for example, today I invited 15 people off of the story that I made a couple of days ago asking if they would be interested. I think it was Sunday night when I shared a transformation on my Insta story, and I didn't do the first Insta story, I did the second one, which I posted literally milliseconds later, and I obviously know that they were either skipping through or they were actually watching. If I do the first one, then they might have just pulled up the story and then swiped away and not actually read it. So I always do like kind of the second one so that I know they either are skipping through like assholes, which is what I always do, or they are actually curious. And so I'll invite them from that. And then the third thing I do is I invite cold people. I invite people who are not following me. The reason I do that is because I have to build my following. And with only, 900 people, I have invited a lot of the people who are following me. And if I haven't invited them, they're obviously going to get invited at some point. But I have to continue to increase the amount of the number of people that I'm inviting. So I can't just stay within the people that that are following me. I also go out and I invite other people. That's also going to help you get them looking at your page. They may never follow you unless you invite them. So it also is great practice. It's honestly great practice to just get over that icky feeling about inviting. So those are the people that I invite. And I wanted to make a note that follow-ups are not new invites. This is a mistake that I made for a very long time where I would write down, I'm still a pen and paper person, I would write down as part of the people that I'm inviting all of the people that I was following up with. So somebody that said that they were interested at some point, or that was supposed to get back to me today, or something like that. Or people that I've been inviting for multiple months. Those people don't count as new invites. You want to make sure that you get at least 5 to 10 invites, and I truly encourage you to push for the 5 or the 10 plus. But get that number of invites and get it as new people. The reason you are going to have long-term success in your business is from these new people. You continuously have to be putting new people into the big pool of people who know about your business. So these examples are all posted in the team page in the file section under invite examples. So if you need examples, by all means, go and have at it. So when somebody says, or responds, you send that invite, and then this I feel like is the big place where people get stuck. What we want to avoid, remember, the Magic Convo Cocktail is a little report, a little business, and always ending with a question. That does not include barfing all over them all about what coaching is or all about what a challenge group is. So it's very, very easy to just kind of, again, you can think about it and be in one of two places. Either go for a coffee date at Starbucks and have the conversation as if you were talking to them. You're not going to barf all over them what a challenge group is. You're going to tell them piece by piece what's included. You're going to tell them and ask them questions, and you're going to talk more about the things that you feel they are going to benefit from. Do the same thing with all of your conversations, okay? So I feel like the next part, when somebody says, what do you do? Or what's a challenge group? How do I go from there? What do I say? I want you to keep it super simple, super simple. And you're pretty much going to keep the conversation extremely vague all the way until they are like, yeah, I really want to do this. Or, yeah, I really want to join your challenge group. Then you can tell them the little details before they sign up, okay? Don't barf all over them what the details are. Just, conversate over a coffee, okay? It's got to take you the time it takes to have a coffee in order for you to explain what it is. So When somebody says to me, what is it that you do? This is what I say to them, and I copy and paste this. This is the only two things that I copy and paste. I have this in the slides somewhere else. The first thing is that I obviously copy and paste I'll talk about it after. Okay, so all I say when somebody asks me, what is it that you do? Because I send all coach invites, very, very minimal, like probably 10% of them are to a challenge group. So usually people are asking, well, what do you do? All I say, I'm an online health and fitness coach, but I like to just call it paid to work out and play on social media and make biz besties, LOL. So it'd basically be a chance to get paid to share those workouts and those workout inspirations you share already. Have you ever done an at-home workout before? P.S. I'm literally in love with your hair. Little bit of business, little bit of rapport, always ending with a question. So they're going to come back to me and say, yeah, I have. And oh, thank you. Oh, girl, you're so welcome. But oh my gosh, what ones? Have you ever done a Beachbody one? So notice how I'm not like barfing all over her what coaching is and telling her what I do as a Beachbody coach. Number one, I haven't even said I'm a Beachbody coach. I just asked her, have you ever done a Beachbody program? Some people don't even know that there is coaching, so that's okay. A lot of times I will, depending on how I phrase my question, I won't even say, have you done a Beachbody program? I'll just say like, oh, what programs have you done? Or ask them in some form. And then they can say, maybe they say something like, no, I haven't tried one. And you can say something like, that's okay. Honestly, I hadn't even heard of the company before I joined. Haha. That's a little bit of rapport. But basically our job is to do workouts and share a journey online. Business, telling her again what we do. What do you currently do for workouts right now? Question. And notice how I didn't say something like, would you want to be a coach? Or do you think you would want to earn money from your phone? Don't do that. Just ask her a normal question that's going to, as if you were sitting down at Starbucks or having a glass of wine. Girl, what do you do for workouts? Like, it's so simple. Don't overcomplicate it. From this right here, what do you do for workouts? Let's say you start conversating about, she's either going to say one of two things. She's either going to say, either no, or I try to, but I'm not successful, or she's going to say, yeah, I work out and this is what I do. You have two directions and they're both going to come back to the same thing. They are both going to come back to coaching, because whether she works out, perfect, you're going to be an awesome person to inspire people to work out, or she doesn't work out, perfect, you're going to use the accountability of coaching. Either way, it's going to come back to the next little blurb you're gonna relate, you're gonna talk about what she does for workouts, maybe ask her what she does if she says she goes to the gym. Awesome, what classes do you do? Or do you do, what do you do at the gym? Ask her a human conversation. If you were at Starbucks, paid to have a conversation, and it was speed dating at Starbucks, would you barf all over her and tell her what Beachbody coaching is? No, you're going to ask her bit by bit by bit, getting to know her. Remember this, a little bit of rapport, a little bit of business, and always ending with a question, okay? So take the pressure off of them and trying to get all the details thrown in their face as quick as you can. Remove yourself from that scenario and just have a conversation. It makes things so much simpler for you and for them, and you will start to build true relationships in this process. A little rapport, a little bit of business, all in the same conversation, all in the same response, with a question to end it. If you're finding that you are sounding like a robot every single time you type out a message and it's sounding too Beachbody-y, change it. Don't say so much in that. The shorter your blurbs are and the less complicated you make it, the more interesting you seem. People are going to try and be like, what are you doing? I want to know all the details. Then you can give them all the details, okay? Okay, so let's say, for example, the same things. What's a challenge? Oh, girl, it's so fun, so much fun. This is exactly what I say. So I run an online accountability group where we all do workouts and hold ourselves to get results. Are you doing any workouts right now? So a little bit of rapport where I'm like being really fun and just like honestly conversating with her, a little bit of business, telling her what we do or telling her what a challenge group is. And then part of the report is also my question, asking her what she does. And then let's say the person says, what does it cost? This is a big one. Remember, there's a rule that I gave not long ago, but there is a rule to giving the price. You are not allowed to give the price to somebody until they tell you that this will work for them themselves at least 2 times. If they haven't said, yeah, I'm in, they're not going to see this as the value of it, of what it truly is. They're just looking for the price. And at the end of the day, you can't give them the value that we have in this by just giving them a number. They have to know that you care. They have to know what this is. I mean, you're selling them, you're giving them a ticket to a lifestyle, not just a paid, they're not just getting Shakeology. They're getting a lifestyle change or a lifestyle improvement. Okay, so you can't put a number on that unless they truly believe in it. And that's how I do it. That's how I get so many people to sign up when I send out a link. Not too often, I would say maybe 1 out of 5 does not sign up when I send them a link, okay? So when somebody says to me, what does it cost? And I have not given them or they have not told me that they want to join at least 2 times, all I say is this. It totally depends on what goals you have for yourself. Do you do any workouts right now? That's it. That's all you have to do. And then if you found out, if you were, if they asked this right now, after you asked, what are you doing for workouts already? And they say, what does it cost? I'll say something like, usually they're asking if they don't do workouts, right? They're not usually going to ask if they do workouts. But I will say it totally depends on what you want to accomplish. What are your top 3 goals? Or what's your biggest goal right now? Do you have it? How badly do you want it? Things like that. You need them to tell you that they want this, not you telling them that they want this. You need them to tell you that they truly do want to join, okay? And that this is going to be game-changing for them. Another one that I wanted to give you is I don't have time, thank you. Remember, no is not right now. No never means no. No just means not right now, I don't have enough value. So I usually say something like, oh my gosh, girlfriend, that's what these are for. The workouts are quick, 30 minutes. Do you have a current workout routine? Now remember, you've kind of like put them off on a pedestal right now and you're like almost forcing them to respond back to you after they've already said no. That's like, think about when you're in a store and you go into the retail store and somebody says, oh my God, or can I help you with anything? And you're like, no, I'm good. And they try and say something to you again. And they're like, oh, but we have this deal. And you're like, no, leave me alone, I'm good. You kind of already made up that decision, but you're going to continue to think about what they were trying to say. You're going to think about what deals did they want to tell me that I just shut them off with right away. So then you're likely either going to ask somebody else, look for the signs, or you're going to go back and say, hey, I'm really sorry to cut you off. What is it that is on sale? The same thing's going to happen for this. So when somebody gives you an objection right out of the gate, don't just say, thanks, bye. They are just saying no thank you because they don't have all of the details and all of the value that they need. So all you're going to do is say something that kind of asks them a question about their objection, okay? And so, for example, you can say something like this. Do you have a current workout routine? Or, do you, whatever the case may be. This is a great one. This is usually what happens, okay? Don't be alarmed if they don't send you a message back. They're going to keep watching you. Oh, man. I don't know how to. Whoa, I can see it now. Wow. Sorry. Danny goes, that's me. I've had people sign up where I've never told them the price. Yes. Same. Okay. So again, objections, don't fear them. Just continue to ask questions. Keep the conversation going, and no doesn't always mean no. No usually does not mean no. It just means I don't have enough information right now, and I'm protecting myself. So the same thing as when you go into that retail store and right away you've already decided that you don't want to talk to the retail person because they're really, really annoying. That's us. And they are going to ask you, oh, do you want me to tell you what the deals are? And you're like, no, leave me alone. That's what these people are doing. It's not that they don't want to hear what we have to say. They've just already made up their mind that they don't need this. However, they're going to continue to watch you. They're going to continue to watch what you're doing, to kind of think about questions, but then they're going to feel really awkward to send a message to you. So that's where sending out invites to people who have even said no before, sending them out again, okay? I've sent people messages when they've literally said no to me a million times, and I don't care because I'm like, I want you. I think you'd be an amazing coach, and I'm just going to keep asking you until you literally block me. So let's do this. Okay, so let the conversation flow. Get to know the person while explaining the business. So again, that's the rapport plus the business, ending with a question. And I wanted to make a comment about make sure you add in things that make you you. So when you talk to me and you read my messages, they sound pretty similar. And if they don't sound like you and they sound weird or scripted or like somebody else and not like you at all, then read your messages out loud or send them to somebody that can tell you whether or not it sounds like you. So sometimes I'll read my message out to Kyle and be like, does this sound like me? And he's like, no. And then other times it'll be like, here, can you read this? And he's like, yep, that's perfect. And when I read my own conversation, I hear my voice. Sometimes I will read a message that I have typed up or written after I've listened to a training, let's say, and I find that I sound like that training person. And so I will read out loud my conversation, and it will not sound like me. It will sound like that other person. All you have to do is go back to who you are, and as you're typing, say it out loud. Just type whatever you would say in person. So if you are a bubbly, happy, joyful, energetic, very emotional, if you're hands-on and you are like in people's faces, that's how you should be typing. It should not be any different. There shouldn't be no difference between the emotion that comes out in your text and the emotion that comes out in your voice, okay? So remember that, because that's going to make or break the relationship that you build with this person. So throwing in things that are funny about you. So sometimes, like last night, I was so ridiculous. I said something to a girl that wanted to sign up. I don't even remember what I said. And I gave her two options, and she said the second one, and it was like 10:30 at night, and I was like, the coaching option? Because I literally had no idea. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I literally turned into a zombie after 10 p.m. And then she's like, oh my God, don't worry about it. Me too. Yeah, I'll do that one. That shows her that I'm like a normal person. And if I saw her in, like, if I was talking to her in real life, I would literally say that I'm so sorry. My brain turns into mush. I say that to you guys all the time. My brain turns into mush when I have to do a team call at 8 o'clock, right? So say those things. Be real. Show you and your personality. If you laugh, say, haha. If you are, like, sometimes, do you ever read or want to say LOL out loud? I always want to say LOL out loud. And it's really ridiculous. But when I'm typing, I will type and be like LOL. And I don't say LOL just because it's like funny. I say that because if I was talking to them in person, I would probably say LOL. Or I would like laugh hysterically or be really like out forward with the fact that I think it's funny. Okay? I also think that I'm really funny. So I usually laugh at things that I say. Okay, so let's keep going. You are going to be real with them, tell them what's happening, be relatable. And this is another thing that I do is I add in, if I'm like conversating with them and I am thinking kind of like this, where I'm on topic and then I'm like, wait, squirrel. And then I need to tell them something else. I'll put that in brackets so that they can kind of like, as they're reading the message, it's like, oh, okay. Oh, squirrel. And then, continue on. That's me. That's who I am. So add that in there, make it personal. And then another thing is use emojis, for crying out loud. Don't be a person that doesn't use emojis in their text. You don't have to use all the same ones that I use. You don't have to use them a crazy amount, but put a freaking smiley face at the end of your conversations. People need to know that there is emotion in your message. I mean, we're trying to sell people through Messenger. Okay? If you want people to believe that you are a normal human being who actually cares about them, put an emoji in there. Don't just be a robot. Type. Okay? So like I was saying, the only things that I copy and paste are the initial invite, and I always adjust it based on the person. So for example, if Bonnie was mentioning this yesterday too, and I've said this to you guys, make sure you spend a few seconds going to somebody's profile and looking at them before you send them a message. Number one, do not send another MLM person an invite to your business. It's gross. We don't want to do that. We pride ourselves on being a team that really, truly wants to help people, not just build our teams for money. And just spend that quick second. Figure out if this is a, hey girl, hey love, hey gorgeous, hey beautiful, hey with their name, however it is that you greet them. So I don't greet every single person with hey gorgeous. So I will copy just the invite person part, and I will input the hey whatever with an emoji based on what they look like, right? If there's somebody who's like a little bit more calm and doesn't seem, I mean, you're going to go with your gut. You're going to know whether somebody is going to want to be called gorgeous or by their name, realistically, okay? Okay, moving on. And then explaining what we do as a coach. That's what I copy and paste. That's like the, I'm an online health and fitness coach, but really I just basically call it being paid to work out and make fitness and business best friends. Okay. I know. Whoa. Okay. Where to go? Oh, where to give the details. This was a really important thing that I wanted to tell you guys. So the flow of your conversation, you now have, you're building rapport while talking business. They're starting to get interested. What is your strong suit? Are you good on video? Are you good on voice note? Are you good on phone calls? Are you good in Messenger? Are you good in sneak peeks? Is that where you get most of your people? If you're brand new, then start with one. If it's not working, try another one. If that starts to work, keep doing it. If that doesn't work, try a new one. For me personally, I don't do phone calls. I will never get on another phone call again. I have screwed up every single one. They don't work, and I don't like them. I do lots of Messenger when it is for challenge groups. And for coaching, I like to put them in a sneak peek, or I like to do lots of voice noting them. I don't like to talk just in Messenger about coaching because it's a little bit too big of a leap in order for somebody to really get the vibe of what coaching is. And I really want them to join coaching because they are so excited, not because I convinced them through texting, okay? And again, like I like to do in my sneak peeks, I prefer to do just a couple live videos with some posting. And I like to keep them short, 3 days. I also like to conversate through that. So I use a combination of sneak peeks and Messenger. Messenger, I can get all of my people to sign up for a challenge group, no problem through Messenger. I am apparently very good at communicating the excitement, communicating what it is, communicating what, I mean, it's pretty basic. So for that, I've nailed that down. Coaching wise, I'm not good at converting somebody through Messenger and getting them to sign up. I need that personal touch, and I need to explain what is going on in another video. So I actually use a video that if you're not in my current coach sneak peek, go in there. And I use the new video that was just posted explaining what coaching is. And I'm telling you right now, it has been game-changing for me in the last month because I suck at getting just the points across. And this video in 11 minutes tells them in a nutshell what coaching is, so that when I go and do my live videos and talk to them about coaching, they already know what the hell I'm talking about. So for me, that's what I've been using. Find your strong suit and take the conversation of that. Now that you've built rapport, you've talked a little bit about business, be it a coaching or a challenge group, and now you're at the point where this person really is interested and they want some more details. Where do you go from here? Choose. Are you going to get them on a phone call? If you're really good at phone calls and you can convert them like that, get every single person on a phone call and make your goal be to have 20 phone calls a week or 10 phone calls a week so that you're constantly converting people. If you're not a phone call person like I am, but maybe you're good on video and camera, then get in a sneak peek and start doing live events or start doing sneak peek groups. Maybe you're not a sneak peek person, but you get it all out in 1 hour. You can convert everybody because you are quick to the point. You're not long and elaborate like I am, and everybody converts after a one-night sneak peek. Go and watch Raina Odell. She does an amazing job at one-night sneak peek events. She talks all about it, and then she has people sign up. It's great. She is not an elaborate person, so that works well for her. For me, I do sneak peeks plus pre-done videos, okay? So figure out what works for you. Don't just have a conversation, and if it's not working, continue to have more conversation, especially if you're not able to get the big points across without coming off too barfy or not giving enough details. Let something else do it. Find your strong suit, okay? Okay. Giving the price, I'm not going to dive into this whatsoever. I have given you I've given this to you in the team page, but give them options. I am 100% a firm believer that people need to choose for themselves. And if you try and choose for them and tell them it's $186, that's the only option you have, they're gonna be like, fuck this, I don't want this. And they're just gonna put their barriers up. I don't know, maybe it's different for the people that you have, but that's what I've learned. I've been giving choices ever since last summer, and I've signed up way more people. And it's easier to sign up people. They're not so like ghosty. They don't ghost on me when I give them this. I mean, obviously I get ghosted sometimes, but I have way more people who sign up. And remember, I don't ever give them this price option until they've told me twice at minimum that this is something that they want to do. So I already know that it doesn't matter what the price is, okay? Give them a price option. Here's an example of what I do. It's in the team page in the file section. Go use it, word it yourself, or just use this for a couple of times until you start to remember what it is, and then start typing it out yourself, okay? Don't just go and try to, take this and rewrite it yourself. Keep it simple, keep it light, keep it lighthearted. This is what works. Just maybe change a little bit of the wording around if you need to, but let this be your foundation, and then use it a few times. And once you've had it a few times, go and adjust it for yourself, okay? You can also, another thing that I do is, if it feels better to give them this option, and this is what I post in my sneak peeks, if it feels better to give them this option, you can. So the one on the left here of the screen, this one is for customers. So I will say, okay, here's your options, which one best fits for you? And they'll choose one, and I usually will preface it by saying the top two are the ones with the most value. realistically, because that's the truth, obviously. And realistically, I want them to sign up with a package so that they're more successful. If somebody needs to sign up for a Beachbody On Demand membership, don't deny them of that. They can do that. If somebody doesn't want Beachbody On Demand and they really only want, Shakeology, let them do that. They can do that. Okay, so I like giving them this tool because it just takes the pressure off of me. Okay, and I do the same thing for this one, and I put the coach startup fee is waived when they purchase one of these packages. And I personally have 80-day obsession in here. You can adjust it. If you don't want 80-day obsession, just cut that one out. But if somebody wants to do 80-day obsession at some point in their journey, then I want them to get the package so that they get the sliders and the bands, even if they're not going to do it at, right at that start, but they do have a desire. Like, realistically, only if somebody says to me, oh, I want to do that 80-day program, I'd be like, okay, perfect. You're going to do 21-day fix to start you out. That's going to help you launch your business. Then you're going to move into this, okay? Okay, so remember, your magic cocktail, it's a little bit of rapport, a little bit of business talk, and always ending with a question, okay? Then from there, move the flow over to whatever your strong suit is, to give them the bigger details, to tell them all about what a challenge group. Realistically, you should be able to turn over a challenge group, somebody interested in a challenge group, in a day. That's the end. That's kind of like, it's very basic. There's nothing to a challenge group. You shouldn't be diving into deep conversation. Maybe ask what their surface level goals are, but where you're really going to change that person's life is in the challenge group. You can't change their life while they are not a client. Maybe you can inspire them, but you can't help them the same way. So turn that person over right away as quickly as you can for a challenge group, and especially when they are like on the ball, ready to go, get them going. That's why last night I don't normally send people messages at 10:30 at night, because my brain is mush. But she was ready to sign up, and I'm not going to just let her go. If she's ready, she's ready. I'm going to do that for her. However, if you are somebody who has strict business hours and you can only work at X time, that's okay too. You don't have to answer that person on call every single minute of the day, unless it's somebody who says, okay, I'm ready to sign up, and you're sending them a link. That would be my only suggestion, okay? So use this. Let this be the way that you have a better, more fluent way of explaining what coaching is, what a challenge group is, and don't overdo it. Don't stress yourself up, okay? Step one, be relatable, do a little bit of rapport, a little bit of business, question ending in that response. Step two is, once you've explained the super nitty-gritty coffee shop details, you're going to send them to one of the areas that is your expertise: phone calls, videos, sneak peeks, continuing conversation. Send them a video, whatever is your strong suit that gets you, getting across what you need, and then you sign them up, okay? Okay. Sorry. Daniel said that we're the same people. Okay, so that is all. Let your conversations be as fluent as they would as if you were having conversations with them in person.